Simon, Brother Matt, Sister Bobby. In the early 1990s, in a secret location somewhere in the northwest, I was getting ready to go on a date with someone I had met through my work. David was not a colleague, but an external consultant. And although I had never actually met him in the flesh, we had enjoyed many telephone conversations. Why are you looking puzzled?
Why is he... am I missing something with external consultant, or is that just his job?
No, he's just... I don't know, he's advising from afar.
Maybe you're not allowed to date someone at work, but he's an external consultant, so there's some grey area.
Oh, really?
I think you're all reading too much into this. Basically, they hadn't met, they'd just spoken on the phone in a flirty fashion. Over time, these conversations have become longer, straying from the fascinating topic of office supplies to much more personal matters. And these chats with lots of flirting, there you go, were conducted almost every day, much to the annoyance of my colleagues who shared an open-plan office space. It was much to everyone's relief then when, at the end of the latest phone call, David said, "I'll be in town next week. Will you meet me for dinner?" "Of course," I said, but I was immediately set with panic. What should I wear? What will he look like? What will he think of me? Anyway, the evening arrived and I left the office with shouts of good luck from my colleagues. As I got ready, I calmed my nerves with a glass or two of wine.
This is going to end well.
Or three, if I'm completely honest, and possibly a vodka. But my memory is a little hazy on this point. These drinks started to have the desired effect quickly, as due to nerves about the impending date, I hadn't eaten anything all day. Oh, dear me, no. I arrived at the meeting point and my first reaction was, "Ooh, not bad." At the sight of a tall, handsome man standing there waiting. "Are you David?" I said. "Yes," he said, looking happy to see me in the flesh, as it were. What neither of us were to know was that this moment was to be the high point of the date. David had booked a table at a very exclusive restaurant, which, to be honest, isn't my natural habitat. To be honest, I would have been more at home at the chain pizza restaurant just a few doors away, but this didn't feel like the time to say. David had obviously gone to a lot of effort to impress. Within what felt like seconds of arriving in this very swanky restaurant, the waitress arrived with the menus, but reading it was no easy task. Maybe it was the small writing, maybe the muted lighting, possibly even the alcohol in my system.
Possibly, yeah.
But more likely it's because I was too vain to get my reading glasses out of my bag on a first date. Or all of them, I think. I was about to concede that my glasses were going to have to make an unwelcome appearance when suddenly three things happened all at once. First, a strange smell filled my nostrils and my eyes started to water. Second, my menu was whisked out of my hands. Third, I noticed the waitress hurrying to the corner of the restaurant holding my menu, which was now on fire. I watched in horror as she produced a miniature fire extinguisher and officially put the fire out. The waitress came back holding the new menu. "Don't worry, madam. Don't worry, madam. Happens all the time," she said with a straight face, discreetly moving the lit candle from the middle of our table. As what had just happened began to sink in, I was filled with a fit of the giggles. This was made all the worse by the fact that David did not laugh at all, not even a smile. He looked mortified, and the other diners, not even one of them raised an eyebrow. They all pretended not to notice the drama happening at the corner table, or indeed the acrid, melted plastic scent that was now making its way through the restaurant. I had to stifle my giggles. If you've ever tried to do this, you'll know that stifle giggles need somewhere to go. So while David and I gamely tried to act like nothing had happened and started a conversation, snorts started to come out of my nose. And I wish I could say it was just snorts. So with...
What?
"David, could you order for me, please? Anything vegetarian is fine." I headed off to the ladies, where I could let out my hysterical giggles like a madwoman, planning to glide effortlessly back into the restaurant once I had regained my composure. However, when I exited the ladies, I had a problem. There were two identical doors with no signage. One of the doors must be the way back into the restaurant. This was not the door I chose. The one I chose turned out to be the cleaning cupboard, and this became clear to me upon opening the door when a mop, a broom and some other metallic cleaning implements clattered loudly to the floor, a sound which was surely heard throughout the dining room. Hastily, I sort of picked them up, pushed them back into the cupboard, and sort of closed the door. I was conscious I'd been gone a long time by this point, and that David was waiting. So with some trepidation, I opened the correct door, with what could in hindsight be described as more force than was strictly necessary, and the door sprung open, and the loud bang it made as it hit the restaurant interior wall made all the diners jump, and David looked up to see me stumbling rather than gliding back into the restaurant. Well, We carried on gamely with the date, but the easy banter we'd so enjoyed on the phone was gone. For various reasons. I can't even tell you what we ate or drank, but I do remember that at periodic moments I had to quell another snort or two as the giggles resurfaced. I suspect a quiet word in the waiter's ear by David meant that the desserts and coffees arrived together, as he obviously wanted the date to come to an end pretty done quickly. My lemon mousse looked gorgeous, but I was never to find out. As I lifted my coffee to my lips for a first sip, my eyes looked up and caught the sight of a water sprinkler on the ceiling. Imagining the sprinklers going off all over the diners during the menu fire was the final nail in the coffin in terms of my self-composure. I started to laugh hysterically, dropping the entire cup of coffee into the lemon mousse, creating a mini volcanic eruption effect on the once white linen tablecloth and all over my dress. Amid the glares of the other diners, at once again causing a disturbance, David managed in just a couple of seconds to ask for the bill, order a taxi, retrieve my coat, usher me out of the door with a peck on the cheek and a vague promise to call me. We never did go out again, strangely, and as he moved jobs just afterwards, we only had a couple of phone calls to endure. So obviously I'm writing to you, as is traditional, to ask for forgiveness, not to David for ruining the date or disrupting the evening of the other diners. Quite frankly, they could have all benefited from ordering a sense of humour from the menu. Lighten up, losers! However, I would like to apologise to the waitress, who on witnessing the succession of events lost her professional demeanour and had a clear case of snortitis. I'd also like forgiveness from the cleaning staff at the restaurant. Not only had I destroyed their cleaning cupboard, but I'm sure they were finding spots of coffee-flavoured lemon mousse cake all around our seating area for many days to come. And I'm sure the stained tablecloth was a complete lost cause. I mean, as first dates go, that's pretty catastrophic, really. And it all went wrong before they'd even met. Because, I'm just suggesting conservatively that 3 glasses of wine and a vodka on an empty stomach before a date, usually a very, very bad idea. Anyway, Sister Bobby.
Yes, I was going to say Janet is really a girl after my own heart, apart from the drinking bit at the beginning. But the thing is I love Janet, and I think she had a sense of humour, and I think it's really important to be yourself in the restaurant. So she was herself, so David can make a quick decision whether to invest in it. Well, I think she had a great sense of humour. I think she was lovely, and I think also the waitress would have forgiven you because she seems like she had as much fun over you as you did. David, I think, well, no love lost there for either of you, so I think it's fine. And also the other diners, come on, it's your responsibility when something happens to someone else to make them feel okay about it. Not to make them feel, well, no, just to kind of go, it's all right, don't worry, we've all done that. Love the waitress, the rest of them, you're forgiven, Janet.
What I want to know is, what is a posh restaurant doing having a laminated menu?
That struck me as well. I mean, come on, you can afford it.
Laminated menu.
I mean, just in case something gets on them, who'd have thought? We are firmly in sitcom land here,
yes,
aren't we? With menus on fire, open up broom cupboards, and then dropping your coffee in your mousse. We've all been there as well. Which of us can honestly say we've never been on a date that hasn't ended disastrously after you've had a little bit too much to drink? Not you, Bobby. Put your hand down. So I am going to forgive.
Both your
hands are up. Well, we've all been there. So obviously, David, better off without him, as it turns out, because he was moving job anyway, and there was no future in that relationship. He was off. So definitely forgiven.